Okay, thank you so very much for this, for joining us this afternoon on the John Mayaki Show. We want to appreciate those of you joining us on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, on this special edition of this show. Today on this show, we're going to be talking to a political colossus, a media warlord, a media guru, an expert, a professional of no mean repute. We're going to be hosting the consultant media communication strategy to the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. His name is Don Pedro Obaseki. Thank you so very much for joining us on this show, sir.
Thank you, John.
I know a lot of people will be wondering, Don Pedro Obaseki. In fact, the first time I met you, you were contesting for governor then too.
Yes.
How has it been? How have you? 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
How have you seen? How will you describe the political setting you found yourself now, from that time till now? How are you coping?
It's been like a journey made by God. I don't want to say it's an exodus, but it's been one particular odyssey. And as I go ahead, I try to fine-tune my relationships with people.
Yeah.
You know, but I believe that politics that we play now is evolving fast.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that the more we educate our people, the better. Those who don't want to be involved in politics and who keep seeing politics as a dirty game are those who are responsible for where we are.
Would you see North's ambition to contest for governor?
Yeah, you see, the only thing that stops me now is that my elder brother is the current governor.
Yeah.
And the governorship is not the birthright of my family.
Yeah.
Except we want to borrow from the Adele case. You know, it's not but you see, I truly believe that, but what I've gone through have made me realize that you don't need to be governor to be able to contribute to the collective or upward mobility of our people. And I also seeing my brother being governor, and I've watched him at close distance. Yeah. It is actually a very thankless job. And to quote Fashola, whom I was an executive consultant to when he was governor, he said, when you are the governor of a state in Nigeria and you are humble, is the grace of God. So I want to maintain my humility. I don't want the lack of grace of the governorship. Because you see good men become governors and they turn into small cubicle giants, cubicle godfathers, cubicle demons.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to lose my humanity.
Your idea of being a governor, what you think you want to do for Edo State, are they being achieved under this present dispensation? Are you fulfilled?
To be very frank, I don't want to talk about the Edo State governorship now. Yeah. But in the first tenure of the governor, I truly believe that almost everything I would have done for the people of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki was doing, particularly in the areas of education and healthcare. You know, education, because you cannot move the people forward if you don't raise their brain power upward. So I believe that the massive, as at that time, but I've not been involved in the governing space in Edo State since his second tenure, so I cannot score him. But in the first tenure, I was involved both in policing the governance structures in the state and also fighting for him to return, because I believed, you know, that he was doing what I thought was meant to be done. Yeah, it's also in terms of healthcare. If you see, at least the few ones, you don't change the health trajectory overnight, but you can see that there was a dedication towards training of manpower, provision of primary healthcare facilities that were obvious. So I would say yes. But for now, you know, there's so much turmoil in the state now, and I don't want to be involved. Everybody there is my friend. We don't turn the whole forest into a forest of serpents. Yeah.
So when you say there's turmoil in the state, it's also in the national. You are busy now at the Atiku'S presidential campaign office. Yes. There's turmoil in the PDP, at the national, even at the state.
No, you see, the one at the state is more structural. There's a structural, almost seismic fault line in the structure of the PDP in Edo State as presently constituted. Yeah. But that does not replicate itself in the national. Yeah. The national is more a fight of egos, you know, tainted, bruised, or lacerated egos. You know, it is nothing structural.
No, not if you say ego, no insincerity.
Yes, the ego.
Insincerity?
Okay.
Like you promise to do this.
You see, that is where I have a problem. You see, as a lawyer or someone who's been to school, I cannot cast judgment when I'm ignorant. Okay. You see, I can only take what you say in the public domain. You see, I know you are talking about Wike saying somebody is insincere.
Yeah.
Okay, now listen, you know, I said this a few times ago. You deal with Umahi, he's insincere. You talk about this one, he's insincere. They say I'm leaving the party, insincere. Matawale said I leave the party, insincere. You call, you say, oh, Baseki, Governor Baseki is a betrayer. Insincere. You fight everybody. And you have one accusation against everybody at every one time or at all times. You brought secondus. You say, take out secondus. So when I look at it, and I tell myself, when somebody becomes elementally brigand, I become scared. I cannot take the words it says to me to the bank. So it is based on, so everybody, Wike is the one saying, none of the others have said, and then we have no collaboration or something to corroborate whatever he has said. Look at this now. I'm sitting and I hear the governor goes on television, national television, and says somebody collects 1 billion naira. And the journalist who seem to know, they say, who collected? He said, this man. Who, from who? You didn't mention. Where? You didn't mention. You kept saying, no, it will come out. I would know when the time. No, you are on air. Say it. You've already done the accusation. If the other man was a man, if it was me that was said to, the next morning I will slam yes on Wike with a 1 billion to that same amount lawsuit for libel and slander. You see, I want to accuse you. Like this morning now, I was told, or I got a message that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been transferred from Godmire's hospital in Ilford, and they give me the pin code, the postcode.
The postcode. I
checked the postcode. It was there. So I now called a friend who's close. I said, well, check if this person was on the register. As a day before yesterday, the truth is he was in the hospital. So I said they moved him now to Alexandra Hospital.
Have you confirmed that too?
So that's what I'm saying. So I decided to find out, okay, want to go see whether because it's the British Isles. So when you are in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and you are an NHS customer, your being in the hospital is not going to be secret. If not, Ekorimadu will not be facing what he's facing. So there is so if I now go on air and I say yesterday, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was at Godmire's hospital at Ilford, because I actually have my only two space I live in the UK is in Essex. It's not too far from Ilford. I'm in Barking. So it's an area that I'm used to. I can even draw the train station until you get down at Dagenham and take the last bus, bus 32 to the place. So I know. So, but when you now throw certain things in the open space, I hold myself and say, oh, hold on a minute. So that's why I said the crisis in the PDP is a crisis based on ego, on bruised, lacerated, overbloated, deflated egos, on all sides. Are you getting my point? And the only thing I'm happy about, to be very frank, is that you also allow people to dissipate anger. Because if it doesn't shout out, you won't be able to. It's better for you to deflate the anger and reduce the angst, so that at the end of the day, boys will be boys, friends will be friends. And I keep telling anybody, when I look at it arithmetically, the collateral fallout of a continued war of attrition between Wike and the remaining parts of the party is detrimental, both in the long and short terms, to the party, to everybody involved, particularly to Wike himself.
No, not particularly to him. He's not the only one. There are 5 governors involved in
no,
this.
You see, that's why when I talk about the others, I quit saying Johnny Man. The reason I do that is, Wike is as executive a governor as the others are.
Yes, yes.
And outside of Makinde, all of them are all two-term governors. They are on their second term. Same thing. We hear Ikbeazu. We hear Otom. We hear Ogwani.
Yes.
Wike. And then Makinde. Now, why do I say this clearly? The truth of the matter is, Ogwani, today is a Tuesday, just last Tuesday and Wednesday, hosted the presidential candidate to the largest open-air celebration of the PDP candidacy. So when you now tell me that the man is plotting, I say, no. I would rather follow what he said. I would rather follow what he did
in the public
than the things that are done behind the sanctuary of locked doors. I know they're there. It's like somebody trying to decide the size of a man's phallus when he's not his wife. Are you getting my point? I cannot say that. Number two, I was in Ibadan when I heard the governor, just 2 weeks ago, read out, brilliant prosaic praise of Atiku. In short, he actually said, he repeated almost the umpteenth time, my president is waiting. You see, Vox Populi, the Vox Dei. See, the voice of the people is the voice of God. With his mouth, he has said, this is my president, you're waiting. But he also kept a caveat that we want Ayu'S to leave.
Yes.
Are you getting my point? So, he's a rider. One is a branch of the stem.
Yes.
But the main stem and taproot is
the support for
2023. Atiku Abubakar, in the matrix of both sides of the party, will be president and commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic, of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have never heard Ikbeazu speak in the public domain. And Victor Okezi Ikbeazu is not a man who don't like to talk. Are you getting my point? I've spent time with him. I've been to his house. I've been to his place in Obingwa, his own in the center of just some 15-20 kilometers from Aba. I've been to his villa in Obingwa, so I know how he likes to. The other man is Otom. Otom has also made it clear that this is what he thinks should have been done to Wike. But everybody is speaking either in the first person singular, I, or they are speaking in reported speech. He said, So what I think, I said, those are not evidential. These are all banded social media, vile or veiled grey propaganda.
Do you see a resolution to this issue?
No, there is. There will be. It's not to the... Okay, let's look at it. Assume you are playing chess, not draft. When you see things and you're just seeing them in the arithmetic, you're just playing draft. But look at the projection and the projectile of the geometry. Waiting, Barrister years on Wike go gain if he not support PDP and Atiku for this election. For him, it's a zero-sum game.
How?
Okay, let me explain. See?
He can get his people to vote for the governorship and the senatorial and the House of Rep guys, House of Assembly, and get that done, and work for another presidential candidate in another party.
It's not possible. Let me tell you why.
Look, in Ribadu's case, you remember that?
Yes. I was there. I was in Ribadu's case.
I'm sure you know some state governors worked against ACN, their own party.
No, I'm not hiding it.
Yes.
In that very election, that was a 2011 election.
Yes.
I was in the team of Fashola.
Okay.
From 2007, my biggest whatever in Lagos, was Fashola. We're schoolmates in the University of Benin. And we still play football until he became minister. And he did not lose his humanity when he was governor. He was our governor. Okay. And I don't make any... I cannot talk about Fashola the minister. I don't know Fashola the minister. But Fashola the governor was an epitome. I quoted him when I started this program. Now, it was clear what was playing out. But the voting pattern and the voting mechanics, that time has changed. Let me tell you what happened then. It's time to vote for presidential. You will walk up, they will give you paper for presidential. You will vote presidential, drop it, come back, line up. We start senatorial. You vote, you come back, line up, House of Rep. That was what was obtainable then. But that is different now. Now you want to vote, they will give you the papers. Don't forget, as that time we had nothing like all this car reader. They weren't like, it wasn't preponderant. Now it's going to take massive micro education for you to educate the people in Degema, in Abonima, in One, in whatever, in Ikwere, in Chuba, or in Oba, and tell those rural people that you have everything is given to you once, and you have been told vote umbrella. So you're going to tell them vote umbrella for number one, then vote cookie spoon for number. No. We've tried it. It also happened in the last election. It was most difficult. So if you notice in the last election, almost it becomes easier in the next election that happens 2 weeks later. The only thing that may happen here is if Wike is willing to sacrifice all his senatorial candidates and sacrifice all his House of Reps candidates, that is the only time he can successfully do this. Now I was looking at some posters in Abia State. Abia. The person is running for Senate or running for House of Rep. He puts Peter Obi'S picture at the top and puts himself and says vote PDP and says be obedient. But he's running for Isikwato local government or Isialangwa local government or Ohafia local government. He's running under the banner of the PDP. But I realized that there seems to be a nativity wave. It's also happening in Adamawa. I saw the billboard on the center of the road of Miss Binani and Senator Nyako, who are running under APC, and they had a massive billboard of Atiku'S. I can give it to you. The billboard is Atiku'S, and they put the say Waziri, say Atiku.
These are APC guys.
They did not write their name. They put their picture. One is running for governor. The other one is running for Senate. Because they know that this person has overtaken the party line. You get my point? The image of Atiku in most parts of the north, as we so speak, without a Buhari on the ballot, and with almost 12 million votes prior in the kitty, out of which 85 of those million votes are also in this north. With Atiku now, they see him as...
No, Buhari will simply transfer them to APC, to his own party. He's a party man. Buhari is a party man. Yes, it's his party. Will you want another party to take over from him?
Let me be frank with you. I didn't want to say that. Thank God this is not television, so they will come and shut you down.
No.
Okay. Let's look at it. I want to be holistic. I'm taking you back to April, the last week of April and the first 2 weeks of May. Just a couple of weeks, a couple of days, of less than a week close to the primary. The party chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Malam Adamu, Senator Adamu, comes on air and before journalists and the world and said, we have a consensus candidate and his name is Senator Lawal. Now, he has to be on monumental paraga for him to dare go on air and make such monumental, earth-shaking, moment-defining broadcast. All of a sudden, once that was done, that was when the legal advisor to Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu threatened to go to court and ask for an interpretation of the Electoral Act. It's in the public domain. And decided and said they insist on the primaries being held. Next thing, the Bola Ahmed Tinubu goes on a walking spree along the southwest and told them, if they don't allow me run, I will spill the bean. Because I did this, I did that, I made him, I brought him, I did that. Now, Èmi ló kàn. It's my turn as agreed. That is the birth of Èmi ló kàn.
Yes.
It was the Èmi ló kàn is not just something that the man said. Yes. The man said Èmi ló kàn.
He has worked for the party, he has supported the president. He has
yes. So and there is a pending agreement.
Yes.
And that agreement says, it is my turn. It is my turn now.
In the party.
In the party.
Yes,
I'm talking about the party.
Yes.
Now, relax. Let's fast forward. On the day of the primaries, in the full glare of the public, you saw an almost acerbic president and his vice. And in spite of the seeming opposition of the machinery of government, Tinubu beat the sitting vice president, beat the sitting, just resigned 3 weeks before, super minister of transportation, and beat the Senate president. And in his victory, he did not hide it that these people here are just political Lilliputians, political dwarfs. If you see it on television, the president instructed Tinubu to go and greet the vice, who had actually stood up and provided his hand to greet his former governor, who shunned him. So now, today is a Tuesday. Just 2 working days away, on Friday, on the 30th of September, and then the 1st of October, the party writes an open letter to the presidential candidate.
He denied it.
He did not deny it.
The party chairman denied it.
The party chairman?
That he didn't do, the letter didn't emanate from him.
Oh, it was emanated from where? It is Yusuf that came on here and started denying it. You see, what I'm saying is, I am not taken in by the, how will I put it? The Maradonic ram. I see them, because if you are going to work for all these people, and you want to be able to aggregate, I try to put myself in their shoes. I try to say, okay, if I was this, what would I have done on the strategic level? Why will I deploy this thing on a tactical level? Why did this man think this way? What is he trying to achieve? What is the black propaganda here? What is the white one? What is the gray one? That is the gray propaganda. The thing I lie, but from every fact, it can't be like saying not true. You know, which cried last night. Baby died this morning. Okay, now the which one cried last night. I killed the baby when died this morning. So now looking at all this, and then looking at people banding stuff all over the place, looking at the presidency's lukewarm attitude to the announcement of Shetima, looking at the composition of the campaign council and making sure all those who seem to be in government that were opposed to Tinubu not being in the council, and now they released the list. And I tell myself, why did this man release this list? Can he just carry everybody along? But I also wanted to say, but if I'm the strategic person for here, I will release the list like that, so that they know that, look, there's a new sheriff in town. Then I will sit back with them and I'll add them, and then everybody's happy. See, this is how the reasoning goes. So, so that is what I think. What is playing out now is an interesting election that the political class did not factor. They were bereaved and they are trying to play catch up. What is happening now is an open seeming revolution, at least of the mindset of the average Nigerian voter.
Against the PDP and against the APC.
No, not against.
When you say,
no,
yes.
Wait, can I say something?
Yes.
Who is Peter Obi?
But he's becoming a threat.
No, I'm asking you who. I'm not saying he's not a nobody.
Yeah.
Who is Peter Obi? Peter
Former
Obi
governor.
is much of the system as everybody in the system.
That is why you should be worried.
Yeah, thank you. You see, I was telling someone once, I said, look, the problem we made, the mistake Nigerians made with Buhari was they heard a swan song and they did not bother to inquire about Buhari. So Buhari was a media cell, a bunch of packaged, I'm sorry on your program, a bunch of packaged fallacies and sold to Nigerians. The man went get only 15 cow. But I knew he has this one. I knew where his things were. The man who did this. So I did a documentary that almost killed me then. I did that documentary that for the short AIT. I did it. I did a real Buhari documentary. I had to run out of Nigeria because even my friends were pointing fingers at me. Are you getting my point? But today, are you getting my point? Now, who is doing that for Peter Obi? Who? I asked one person, who is Peter Gregory Obi? Do you know him? What do you know about him prior to when you heard it is governor? Where did he move from? Do you know his track record in the United Kingdom? Do you know what he was? Do you know what happened to FSB that became Fidelity? Do you know how he became the chairman? Do you know his political? Do you know his statements prior to now? I still remember that his statement on Sunrise on channels, where he described those who leave their parties. He finished them, but now he had moved 4 parties ever since.
4 parties?
3 parties ever since. You get my point? That was after he had handed over to Obi'S, because he kept referring to Obi'S in that interview. You know, who is Peter Obi? Nigerians are not asking, but I'm not bothered. But the fact that Nigerians are revolting, either they are using Rastafari hair, Hare Krishna skull, Marxist beard, sagging trousers, turning their face up and down. These are protests that the younger ones are doing. But the only difference is they are not channeling it in a productive end game. Let me explain. I look at it. For you to rule Nigeria, you must have control of the Senate or something. That is how this country is. There are 109 senators. There are 300 and something House of Rep. They will make the laws. They will create the budget. They will do this. They will do that. They will do that. Nigeria has to change. For you to change Nigeria, everybody must change that. For you to change the Nigerian state, the Nigerians must change their state of mind. Yeah. So we must make sure that we have a president who can look at these people and deal with them without being scared of being impeached. Then I now find out in the INET release stuff, Labour has only 30 senatorial seats they are contesting. They don't have senatorial seats they don't even have a contestant in about 10, 15 states. And I put my hand for my head. I simply no work. Now, as I speak, I came back a few days ago from making arrangements for visitations to Bauchi, Gombe, Yobe, and Jigawa. They don't even know what we're talking about. They don't know Obi. That is the truth. So I now sit down. So who is planning for these guys? Do they know the election voting patterns of Nigeria? Have they looked at the election voting matrix and do a calculus of saying between 1999 and 2019? Now, in a meeting in 2013, at the Round House in Lagos, Tinubu put everybody who was in media together and told them that they are going to bring in one man. We didn't know it was Buhari. And that man, he explained why ACN cannot win the presidency. not with their 4 states or 5 states. It was then they had 4 states in the south, in the southwest, minus Ekiti and Ondo, which was in Labour and later Ekiti was Labour.
Yes.
Ondo was Labour and later PDP.
PDP, yeah.
Why Ekiti was PDP.
PDP, yeah.
Then they had Edo. Why ANPP had just 4 partner states in the north. ABGA had 2 states, Imo and Anambra, of which they were now working on. So now, he was explaining how there must be some form of cross-border handshake across the Nigeria, because you have to be able to populate 183,000 polling units. Then you look at the voting patterns. On a day where there is voting, massive pre-election wahala in Abia, there is fever. On the day of election, only 16, 14, 13% will turn out. My friend was running for governor of Abia State. Great man. In short, I remember the song. They call him Alex Oti Onyoma. Onyoma means good man. You get my point? But the people who were singing Onyoma Bere, Onyoma they come, you know, good man. If he comes down, you know, he has this diminutive small figure, and you just say, sorry to say, a damn good man. But on the day of election, his people who were meant to vote, I was in Abia. I was helping him with his election backroom and stuff. They were playing football of Arsenal and Chelsea on the day of election. No, on the football field of the school he built for them.
But you should be worried
you know
that Obi'S votes, Atiku'S vote, natural vote from the southeast, from the south-south, and some other part of the country will be shared by Obi. And that diminishes your chances. Don't you think?
Wait. You see, don't ever look at election from a pinhole camera. You must look at it from a convex or a concave mirror, a convex or concave lens. So my job, if I don't do it, if I start saying it here now, am I consulting? I'm consulting for Atiku. I the man can't pay me. So I can tell you that with the taking into consideration 4 things. The voting pattern since 1999 to now. Because you cannot.
That has changed too.
No, you cannot. It changed. You see, you cannot look at. You see, if you are doing a thesis, you look at the thesis, create an antithesis, you come to a synthesis. So I have to look at what has happened, what was happening, how has been happening. That they use candlelight for here before, so I will come make and now be electric bulb. Now that they use electric bulb now, but with that electric bulb, they burn 60 watts. Maybe we create another and go bright like but it will now be 10 watts. So we save power. So this is it. It's a progression. Things have changed. I said it before. Many of the politicians were caught unawares. They were so caught unawares that even the Nigerian Senate and House of Rep passed an electoral act that removed their own rights to be delegates in their own election. That is to show you that we have taken the worst of us to be ruling over the rest of us. But it's okay. Now in this election, we have looked at it arithmetically, sociologically, then I can look at past events historically, then we now project what is going to happen. We are not releasing polls in the public, because everywhere you go, there's an enemy at the corner. But we've done it. And there is absolutely nothing, except there is a force majeure. Maybe earthquake will just happen, or one thing that will not make Atiku or Wike win the 2023 presidential election. I'm not saying it because I'm working for him. I'm working for him because I know he will win.
But in a situation where you have in the same day, October 1st, across the country, you have people who funded themselves organically.
No, listen. The movement.
You don't have that in the PDP. You don't have that. If you don't bring money and mobilize people in PDP, people don't come out.
No, do you bring money? Don't you bring money and mobilize people in APC before they come out?
Then, of course, that is what I'm saying. In the Labour Party, that is where the anger you spoke about across the country is a reaction to the traditional politicians that Nigerians want to take their country back.
Yes.
And so they've funded themselves organically, irrespective of Obi and Labour Party, that we want to take our country back. Will that not affect your chances, Atiku'S chances?
That is where it is the organic nature of the movement that it's its biggest advantage and at the same time its biggest drawback. It's a movement.
Yes.
And the movement right now is more amorphous, more amoebic than structure. I'm not talking about structure. You see, for the election to swing electorally on election day, the GOTV, that is the get out the vote matrix, will have to change seismically. Now listen, don't be offended. I'm sure if you look at all these people, many of them will turn out to be the new, particularly those who have never voted before. There are very many. Now, what do you say of INEC, who released that there are about 2-point-something million new registrants? And they came out 2 weeks ago to say 1,250,000, constituting about 50 to 51% of those who just newly registered have been deregistered.
Yes.
And if you realize it, close to 80% of all this happened in only rural, in only urban areas. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So the anger is going to even blow up. So what needs to be done is for us to have massive education and then to create product differentiation, so that Nigerians will know that while we were angry against Jonathan in 2015, our anger may abet be misplaced. We were angry that the dollar was 192 naira. We were angry that the rice was 8,500. We were angry that there was one bomb that was blown in UN house, and then in the other one one of that bomb was blown again in 2010. October 1st, 2010. There one bomb again. But they were isolated. But the APC machinery coagulated it together to create a collaborative narrative. And we all bought into it. But the truth of the matter is, if you are able to create proper product differentiation, Nigerians will realize that by the time Babangida was leaving in 1993, precisely 27th of August 1993, the time Abacha died in July 1998 and Abdul Salam came in, to when Abdul Salam handed over on May 29, 1999, Nigeria had a huge debt burden.
Agreed.
A great debt burden. Nigerians did not know that when Pedro was in 200 and 200 level between 1983 and 1985, General Muhammadu Buhari had run a draconian government which made us lose everything we had. We had to line up to buy rice. That is, they were giving us rice as if we were in Sudan. Nigeria was an indebted country. Our naira became toilet paper. Before then, the naira was exchanging at 1 to 2 naira to $1. That was when the black market. Now we are back to that very thing. We must be able to create product differentiation to realize that the years between 1999 to 2007, all the upwardly mobile Nigerians who had something to contribute, that was when there was the greatest repatriation of Nigerians who had flown abroad in what we call the brain drain, which included me. I was a lecturer at the Manhattanville College in White Plains, New York. I came back. I had taught at the Bradford University in the UK. I came back. You came back. Yes. All of us now thinking, oh, there is an Okonjo-Iweala there. There is an Obi'S there. And there are people who have contributed to Nigeria upward. There is additional there. They all came back. And in that PDP years, the years of Tifri or the years of abundance, Nigerians started traveling abroad again. We all had the holiday BTA. The BTA was first cut by the same General Buhari. It came back in this same time. Now, we went all over, Nigerians were screaming. The fuel was too costly. I remember this young lady that presents on AIT. The first day she was to be interviewed on AIT was the day Nigeria, what was her name? Adora. I was the one that was to interview her for job. And at the gate, my chairman was just standing when she came down from a vehicle. There was the fuel subsidy riot. That was December 2011. And we were saying, oh, sorry you came late. You know, Nigeria is rioting for subsidy. And the guy looked at us and said, excuse me, sir, I don't support those who are fighting. I said, why? He said, because Nigeria is the only country where a bottle of Coca-Cola that is just 30 cl is twice the price of a liter of petrol. So I came from the UK, sir, and in the UK she just said it's 2.5, I mean £2.50 for just a gallon or 4 liters. And I thought again, oh wow. Now, but today, the rice that was 8,005 when I was running for governorship in 2016 is 30-something thousand today. The PPP, the purchasing power parity of...
But it's across the world.
No, it's not across the world.
No.
No.
There's inflation across the world.
No, that is where I want to come to.
Yeah.
The inflation in the UK is 10%.
Yes.
Okay. What 10% inflation means is if the bread that was 200 naira in January is now 220 naira. But me and you know that the bread that was 200 naira in January in Nigeria is 500 naira today. If you calculate it, that is where there is a 10% inflation. In Nigeria is a 250% inflation. Now, if I'm a broadcast owner and in 2015 I bought equipment, $10,000 for example, it cost me 1.9 million naira. Today, at the black market rate is 735 before I entered your studio today. So if I don't have 7,350,000 naira, I can't buy the same equipment that has not changed its price.
In the campaigns, I don't know what you are going to campaign with.
Yes.
The APC will be campaigning with these projects.
Which project?
Achievements of... no, you can't say the president has not achieved anything. Are you going to say that?
No, listen.
No, they are going to be showing you what they've done. What will you show to the people?
Listen.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
Let's pause, relax.
Okay.
Let me, where's that rapper? Hold on, now look what he said. Now, listen now. Yeah. This country, the APC, a government that did well or that is doing well, does not need to campaign.
I agree.
Because the campaign will be resident in the minds
of the people, yeah.
But in a situation where even the campaign of the APC is now fighting to distance itself away from the achievements of the president, a campaign where the major man who is campaigning, the man himself, in his acceptance, anytime I play the acceptance speech, I say, who wrote this speech?
What did he say?
That Nigerians are suffering, Nigerians are dying, Nigerians are in turmoil.
Is that not the truth?
So who will I hold responsible? You want me to go on? No. John, hold on. So I'm sure your editor right now, don't be offended, he may not be more than 25.
Yeah.
So as at the time, all his adult life, the person he knows as president since he became a man from 13, 14, 15 is Buhari. And now you are not telling him that the problems we have now is that we will hold Buhari responsible.
Yes. Not Tinubu.
Wait, relax.
Yeah.
On the day of election,
yes,
Tinubu is not on the ballot.
No, Buhari is not on the ballot.
Yeah, I agree. Tinubu is not on the ballot.
The APC is yes.
Buhari is not on the ballot.
Yes.
APC and Buhari are one because and whoever carries their cudgel after that.
Yes.
Because Nigerians have experienced now 7.5 years of the locust. That is what the APC has been. A gambit of lie, whether you're on Muhammad's side or not, lie Muhammad's side or not. A gambit of absenteeism. That is the truth. Nigeria today is the only country I know where we don't know how our president really sounds like.
Our what?
Our president.
Yes.
Yes. Why don't talk to you in the last 1 month?
But you see him in 4 occasions. He's there.
Hi, all these Buhari people. You see, you are suffering from dyslexia. Dyslexia, that's not you as a person.
Yeah.
I mean the whole setup. You know, your whole piece of paper. Small people when they suffer from dyslexia, he goes, this is a boy. You go, his eyes will jump to boy first. Boy, this is boy. It's just sheer jabberwockery. You see, when leadership is standing in front, leadership is leading in the line. Leadership is responding to things as at when due. Leadership is an assumption that at every time and in all places, John Mayaki is my local government chairman. John Mayaki is my governor. John Mayaki is my president. So when it has to do with my local government, whatever it is, John Mayaki will respond. John Mayaki has lived in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So as a result, he knows that when there is something going down, he knows that he will see the Prime Minister. Yeah. He knows he will see the person who takes responsibility. To quote the famous American president, he says, "On my decks, the buck stops." Yeah. Now, when people now begin to do buck passing, it is convenient for Tinubu to say, "I made the government." It is convenient for Tinubu to say, "I brought the government." It is convenient for him to have the the toga of national leader. It is convenient for him to scream, "Emilokon." But now when it comes to brass tacks of trying to situate properly the timelines and fault lines, as well as the tombstones that the country has been led to by the APC, he wants to distance himself. No, bro. You know, he's going to take the hit because he is the principal architect of where we are at today. He might have made a judgment call that was judgment call in error. That is a normal. We are all humans. There is no art here to tell the mind's design on the face. You know, they might have been laughing together today. We've seen governors bringing their besties as their successors, and they end up throwing, slinging guns like John Wayne. You know, shoot me, or the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I understand that. But for anybody in the APC to remove himself from the APC scorecard would be an exercise.
Nigerians will be asking you, Nigerians will be asking you to say, how do you trust an Atiku who said, I will support the Southeast after my tenure, and then goes back again to say, I will support Wike for presidency?
Where did he say that?
No, you are not aware?
No, he said the Southeast zone.
The Southeast zone?
He didn't even say I will support it. The exact words he used was that he is a stepping stone to this. He is a stopgap.
Yes.
Is that what he used? To a Southeast presidency.
Yes.
Yes.
What about?
And he has displayed that in his open engagements. Let me explain. This man has had the presidential ticket twice.
Yes.
Of the AC in 2007.
Yes.
And of the PDP in 2019. Against everybody's permutations and unpermutated by any other person, so including Buhari, who had also changed his own trajectory. In 2007, when he ran, he took Senator Ben Obi as his deputy. Yeah. In 2019, when he ran, he made an ABGA returnee who had left the All Progressive Grand Alliance ABGA to the PDP. He was a neophyte, and made him his running mate, Mr. Peter Obi. Now, in 2023 election, which is now, he has picked another person of Igbo extraction.
Not Igbo extraction. It's a South man.
No.
No, it's a South man.
Let me ask you, be frank with yourself.
Yes.
No, relax. He's a South man.
Yes.
He's a South man.
Yes.
John Mayaki is a South man.
Yes.
I want to ask you.
Yes.
What local government are you from in Edo State?
You champion an organization, Midwest movement.
Yes.
Because you say the Edo and Delta.
Yes.
You put Edo and Delta, Midwest.
Yes.
So why will you
I did not
classify
put Edo and Delta?
Okay, Midwest.
Midwest is Edo and Delta.
Yes. Yes. How do you classify the Delta man now in the person of the running mate to Atiku, the governor of Delta State? You classify him as an Igbo man.
Okay, let me ask you a simple question.
Yes.
That is where you are getting it wrong.
Okay.
You are placing ethnography
Okay.
and ethnicity and linguistic orientation in geopolitical divide. I want to ask you, sir. In Kwara State.
Yes.
No, relax.
That's a bad example. Go ahead.
In Kwara State.
Yes.
Ilorin.
Yes.
The home of
Afonja, yes.
The Areona Kankanfo ni Yoruba.
Yes.
And the house of Abubakar Olushola Saraki.
Yes.
And the house of Agbola Olu Suru Gambari.
Gambari, yes.
If I call him a Yoruba, am I wrong? If I call a man from Ilorin who is ethnically Yoruba,
geographically not.
No, where I'm coming. He's ethnically Yoruba, he's linguistically Yoruba, he's ethnographically Yoruba, he's ancestrally Yoruba, and he sits at the very second most important town in the history of the evolution of the Oyo Empire, where the ruler of Ilorin is the Areona Kankanfo, the generalissimo of Yoruba land.
Yeah.
Will I be wrong if I say that Ilorin, the Yorubas of Ilorin, for example, is there a problem? I said a man of Igbo extraction. I didn't say a man of the southeast. So if, for example, you leave and enter Ikwere land, when I was growing up, they weren't called Ikwere, they were called Ikwere Igbo. Or when I was young, in the early 70s, 70, 71, 69, 70, 71, I'm not a young man, I wasn't born in the 70s. Umu in Igbo means settlement. And all the settlements in Port Harcourt were clear. It was Umu Okoro, Umu Okute, Umu Abasi. And by the fiat of a military edict that was signed by then Captain, later Navy Captain, he was a Navy Captain then, Alfred Diete Spiff, presented by no less a person than Elechi Amadi, who one then was commissioner for the changing. Because people used to laugh at people who speak Igbo south of Owerri as reggae. I speak Igbo perfectly. So they changed every Umu Okuta to Rumu Okuta, Umu Okoro to Rumu Okoro, Umu Abasi to Rumu Abasi. That is it. Outside of that, you will tell me the tribe of Chibuike, God na get power, Amechi. Or the tribe of Iyesom, Wike.
Is he an Igbo too?
Wike means that show power. Okay. Or the home of Austin, Okpara. Or Chibudom, Uche.
Agreed. No problem.
Okay.
Agreed. Do we then say
Wike,
yes?
Although he's from the south, he is of Igboid extraction. Just the way that my first premier of the Midwest region, whom in Benin City today we name our government house after, his name is Dennis Chukwude Osadebe. So will you say he is not of Igbo extraction when he speaks exactly the same dialect in Asaba as spoken by the people in Ojoto, in Onitsha, in Oba, in Abatete, in Nimo, in Ogidi, just about 3 kilometers away across the water. So what I mean is, if you, for those of us in the south, we are the ones who are even more guilty. Everybody went in north now, outside Yoruba.
Yes.
And outside Fulani.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
But we have forgotten that the people from Atiku'S side are hardly Hausa or Fulani.
Atiku is Fulani.
Yeah, he said so. I can't say that. I can't dispute that.
Okay,
I have my reasons.
okay.
But I know that from his local government area, the people you find more are Pachamas, Kere, Jada. They have about, in Adamawa alone, 70 distinct languages that don't understand one another.
70?
Just the way you have, you know why? This is the highlands of both the Mubi and the Adamawa highlands.
Yes.
People lived in isolation without knowing that people lived on the other side. It took the coming of the white man. It also happens in the Kukuruki Hills of Edo State, where the man from Shomorika speaks exactly the diametrically opposite name as the man from Lankpese, as the man from Igala.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, all these places are 25 kilometers congruous in the circumference.
I like that. Perfect analysis, historical analysis. But I want to find out, if you want to give something to the Igbo man, should you not just go to the core Igbo and give it to them? We have given you this. Just as you have mentioned that he gave it to Obi the other time, and then the second Obi, that Ben Obi, and then Peter Obi. Why don't you go back to Southeast, 5 states put together? Why will you bring it to South-South?
No, you see, let me explain.
Yeah.
When they decided to take it to South-South, he could have given it to an Edo man.
Of course, I am aware the governor was looking for it.
He would have given it to an Akwa Ibom man.
Yes. Yes.
But we have two in the South-South, we have two Igboid governors, Wike and Ifeanyi.
Yeah.
And he chose one of the two. I don't see any difference there. The party said it's going to the South-South. The time the party said it's going to the Southeast, he chose Peter Obi. And the 4 governors of the Southeast who were in PDP all wrote open protest. You remember that in 2019? So I don't want to go he has his reasons. I keep saying that there is no art here to tell the mind's design of the face. I interface with the principal, with Atiku'S. And anytime he finishes talking to me, because I'm a man of conviction, I have what the Igbos call apatoi, is goose flesh. And when I see the way people talk about him, the way they hold on to him, I know his history, the good, the bad, the ugly. Even Tinubu, you get my point? Only that there is a lacuna of about 2 decades that is missing from Tinubu's records. Whatever that thing, I know. We all know.
People say,
for me, who is fighting as a marginalized person?
You are not fighting as a marginalized person. That's my question to you just now. That people are expecting that you from the South-South will support a Southern presidency coming to the South, whereas you are in the forefront for a Northern presidency after Buhari again.
No, listen. That is what you know what you call sophistry.
Yes.
Sophistry. And Nigerian governors of PDP sold a sophist argument to Nigerians. They should stop that sophistry. What is wrong with us? There are 2 political parties, and those 2 political parties have nothing to do with one another. AMPP that became CPC that merged with ACN have only thrown 1 candidate from 2003. The only time they did not throw that candidate was in 1999. Till today, he said Buhari. Let's leave it at that. They've thrown up Buhari in 5 elections. Now let's come to the PDP. The PDP is so emasculated, they don't talk. We have had, oh Jesus, when will I stop this thing? We have had 6 election rounds in Nigeria. This next one is the 7th. The PDP has given its ticket 4 times to the South. And they have given it only 2 times to the North. We have run 4 elections and won 3. We've run 6 elections and won 4. The 4 we won, 3 were won by the South and 1 by the North. The one that was won by the North, the man stayed 2 years and 9 months and died. And the South continued. What moral, arithmetic, ethnical equation rights has the South in the PDP that has ruled for 16 years, of which the North has ruled for 2.5, to ask for the ticket? It is sophistry, jabberwockery. I'm sorry to say. Now, even if you decide, so okay, I was in a session in Benin Club and he said, Pedro, stop this. I said, no. If you want to lie, don't bring me into this. He said, no, maybe we look at from beginning to now. I said, even from beginning to now. If we want to look at it North and South, since 1999, the North has ruled Buhari now for 9 years. If he completes 2019 plus Buhari, the North will have ruled 10 years. The South will have ruled 14. because we ruled 8 years of Obasanjo. We now ruled almost 6 years of Jonathan, 1.5 or 1 year and 9 months of the first tenure, and another 4 years. So the other people that have not ruled is the Southeast, since this is our democratic dispensation. And in the North, the Northeast and the North Central, they've not brought anybody. The 2 northern presidents we've had, the 2.5 years of Yaradua, and the 8 years that will be completed by Buhari next year, is the Northwest. Not only Northwest, the same state. Both of them are from Katsina and Daura, which is 17 kilometers apart. That is the truth. Now let's forget that one. If you start from independence, we have 6 regions today, 6 zones. You get my point? 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. The Northwest have ruled almost half the time, followed by the North Central. The North Central have ruled us. They have had the largest amount of military rule. They've ruled us 9 years under Gowon, who's from Pangshin in Plateau State. They've ruled us 8 years under. You even put them for yourself. This boy is very smart. You can even see them there. Just look at them. Look at them. Now the only man that has come from the northeast of Buhari, of Atiku, is Tafawa Balewa, who was not even head of state. He was head of government business. He was prime minister for 5 years and 3 months, between October 1st, 1960 to January 15th, when he was killed, 1966. The only other person there is Ayu'S, who ruled up to 90 years. Ayu'S, you see the first 2 there now on the left, that is Tafawa Balewa, the first governor general and later governor of president of Nigeria, the first, the name, when would they call our president? President and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is an Igbo man, Nnamdi Azikiwe. When they left office in January 1966, on the 16th of January 1966, that same way, Omunakwe Johnson Ayu'S, Major General, it was the last military or civilian head of state from the Southeast. Yeah. Now every other person from there, Gowon, North Central, Murtala Mohammed, Northwest, Obasanjo, Southwest, Shagari, Northwest, Buhari, Northwest, Babangida, North Central, Abacha, Northwest, Shonekon, Southwest, Abu Salam, North Central, Obasanjo again, Southwest, Yaradua, Northwest, Jonathan, South, Buhari, Northwest. Since 1956 January, nobody from Atiku'S area have ever ruled Nigeria. That is 56 years. Now, since 1966 July, so the Southeast has a 6 months lesser claim. Umunakwe Ayu'S. So the people that have suffered most in Nigeria in terms of not producing, in this present geopolitical zone arrangement, is both Atiku and Peter Obi. That is just the truth. That is so. When I hear it is Obi to the south, in 2010, I am one of the 5 people that wrote the doctrine of necessity. I'm not saying it, but I still remember when that general was taking notes. It was in a place in Lagos, because the next day Benga Aruleba had to go on air. We had to draft that stuff to help make sure that Goodluck Jonathan became president. I flew on that tour to the United Nations when he went to address the UN. I was managing director then at Dark Communications. And I remember what the man said on air, that I can even decide, he was acting president, I can even decide to be a vice president to another northerner. That's what Jonathan said on air, on CNN. If that will make sure the North finishes their tenure. But when he returned, the old men of my zone, the likes of Pa Ike Clark and Co., told him, no, you are president. And so he decided to jettison the Article 73C. The arrangement was clear. 1999 to 2007 South. 2007 to 2011 North. 2011 to 2019 South. 2019 to 2000 whatever North. But at that time, based on their search for minor local and I actually did a document. I will send it to you, John. I just did a document to zone or not to zone. And I begged Mr. President Jonathan not to run in 2011. That it will distort the zoning arrangement and the cosmic balance of the party and the polity. That was where zoning was discarded. So all this one they are coming to say zoning. Who zone what to who? So I now went on in my own capacity, January this year when the thing became hot. And I decided to do a historiological view.
I saw it.
Yes.
I saw it.
And I explained to Nigerians, arithmetically, this is where it should be, but not to create wahala. Since you have jettisoned it ab initio, just throw it open. That is because for he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. The narrative of Wike wanting to be president doesn't even make sense even if it's going to the south. It's just the immediate past president is from the south.
I think you need more of Wike now. So whatever you can do to cut him.
No. You see, me as a person, I'm not a political gladiator where this is concerned.
Yeah.
But I just think that rather than being pulling down all the time, if Wike wants to stay above board, I don't think it is. I think it will be he will be cutting his nose just to spite his face. Yeah. He doesn't need anger now. He's the leader. He has built the party. I will not walk in and because someone has messed up my front door, I will rush into the house and I'll throw everything on fire. I will not. Wike is too important to the power matrix of the PDP for him to want to back down now. He should be angry, yes. He has a right to be. Yeah. But to be angry enough to be threatening me, where I'm not getting for inside now. So I'm not angry. I'm just saying, man, big boy, man, wake up and smell this coffee. Be as diplomatic as you could be gubernatorial. Now you are not diplomatic. Now you are not gubernatorial. How can you be presidential?
Maybe that is his own style.
No.
Anyway,
see,
we will leave that.
Me, I have my own style.
Yes.
When I'm alone in the cubicle of my bedroom, I get angry.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me. I'm John Wayne. Yeah. Inside my head, I'm in the Clint Eastwood. But when I come outside and want to talk to people, I will say, this guy in a driver. Only God know what thing will be tomorrow because I remember when Abiola thought say he never even chop egg the time when he go marry. He can't still be like this. I'll think Mr. Babangida will come become president at 11. I'll be 14 years. He not get papa, he not get mama. So God can make you anything. God can transform you from being the wretched of the earth to the only person everybody looks to on earth. He can take you from grass to grace, or bring you from grace
to grass
to wretched earth. You know, I don't sit on the fence. Then you know, Frantz Fanon say when you sit on the fence, life will pass you by on both sides. I don't sit on the fence.
Finally, have you seen the opinion poll here and there?
Yes.
In all the opinion polls, none of them pass your principal as number one.
Yes.
There was one recent one I saw that passed the APC presidential candidate for the first time I've seen that. But the others I've seen brought to be as number one. Are you worried about that?
I'm not.
You don't believe in opinion polls?
No. Listen, I live by opinion poll.
Good. I know.
Yes. You conducted an opinion poll in my state.
Yes.
And that opinion poll put me at number one.
Yes.
But that opinion poll on the street, it was correct.
Yes.
But in the power arithmetics of Adams Oshomole and co, I mean, it was jettison.
Yes.
Somebody else became governor. Okay, now, let me say this clearly. I looked at the three I've seen. I'd even told in one of my interviews with Dr. Abati, say, go back and look at it. The methodology is scientific.
Of this opinion poll?
Of all of them.
Okay.
The templates are available.
Okay.
But when I looked at the tactical extraction of data, is so funny workery. How can you be calling people in Lagos 200 phone calls? You make 200 inquiries in Lagos, a state that has never even hit 20% voter turnout. So if I now use my own as arithmetic, if Lagos, I have 200 phone calls, and in Lagos, I always have 20% voter turnout across board. In the last election, 18%. I will take 20% of the total phone call from Lagos. It's just simple arithmetic. Now you make 7 phone calls in Kano. You make 7 phone calls in Kaduna, in Bauchi, and then in some of them you said they were dropped calls, meaning these people were not even willing to talk. So that is where I fought it. If those who in the last 6 elections in Nigeria contribute 60 to 64% of the total voter turnout, and you are giving them 3%, 4%, you are doing 200 phone calls in Lagos and 7 in Kano. 7 in 200 is 3.5%. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. That's when I used to go, I can't do it. It is not worth the paper that the polls were printed on.
What is your projection? Finally, what's your projection for this election?
Atiku will win.
He won't win in the southwest. He won't win in southeast, in south-south. You can't win the votes alone and become president from the north.
Yes.
The north alone will not make him president.
None of them will win.
Even in the north, the APC will share. Yeah.
May I ask you?
Okay.
Since you stay to Abuja,
yes,
you don't carry motor.
Yes.
Drive, go from here, go this Karanamuda.
No.
Okay.
That's a dead zone. That's a terrible zone.
Okay, yes. But unfortunately, that one I need to make money. I know every route from here to Kaduna, to Jaji, to Zaria, on the way, Papapam, to Funtua, to Malumfashi, to Kansina, to Daura. That is the road. And I'll come back again. Now,
you didn't pass through Kano?
No, I don't. I'm not telling the road now. That is the road. If I'm going to Katsina.
Yes.
If you go through Kano, it means that you are trying to avoid between Katsina and Daura. Katsina and Daura. Why? Because you are scared of Boko Haram.
Okay. Because I know the road through Kano. Okay.
I'm just telling you the short. This one is just like this. They are just like this. It's just like that. It's just from Tuamalum Fashi, Katsina, Daura. It's a straight road. Now, in all these places, the Nigerian Constitution states clearly that whoever gets the largest number of votes plus 25% of 1/3, of 2/3, that means if I have all the 19 states in the north, even if I don't win them, you don't need to win them. And all I need is to be able to get 25% of the 17 states in the south plus Abuja. I want to ask you, be frank. Almost all the presidential candidates, apart from Peter Obi, can get 25%. But even Tinubu can get 25% in either side.
Yes.
Peter Obi may get 100% in some places.
Like where?
No, I'm just giving.
Okay. Okay.
Because if we use the movement, hoping those movement people they have PVC one. Hoping those movement people did not get angry like they did in Lagos. I even wrote a protest once sometime in January. It was in one of the newspapers. I deliberately tried to swat registration in my area in Lagos. The PVCs, all the machines were not working. And I told myself, hold on. I got to Ojota, same thing. Hold on. I went towards Ajigule, same thing. Amuwadofin, same thing. I went to all the mass market areas where non-Yorubas are preponderant. All of them, the PVC, the capturing cards were not working. So in anger, Lagosians moved to their places of work. But all the ones in the Tiosa, where you are, Victoria Island, Ikoyi, all were working.
Then was it by Muda?
I'm talking about January this year. So many of them who started online will now go there and go and thumbprint, they'll go and capture it. Do you know what they did?
Technically, the election could be rigged. Do you believe that?
No, what they've just done, they have disenfranchised those kids because on the day of election, except they all have ways to move to those areas where they've registered, they won't be able to vote.
Do you see any possibility of a rigging?
I was listening to a Guinea the other day and he was saying it was irrigable. I just laughed. INEC told us 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago that even the seemingly foolproof whatever of body beavers and the whatever they were being hacked from Asia. It was announced.
Yeah, there was a fear. Yes. There was a possibility of yes.
And I told them on national TV that what they just need to do, what has been done is that the people who hacked them were not in Asia. They just use an Asia IP address by getting on a VPN. And when you have a VPN on a virtual private network, all you need is to be able to create new protocols.
But if you have the document recorded and you transfer to the cloud and you hack the cloud, you have your evidence here.
Yes.
You still have your evidence here.
Yes.
Yeah. So hacking won't change anything.
No. You see where the problem is on the level of believability. But hacking is the real problem. Let me give you an example. Which one will you believe? The one that the boy who is in the polling unit say this is what we recorded. A boy who maybe is take-home pay can't take him home. A boy who I could pay to change the figures now and give him another card. Or the one that was transmitted at the very moment in the polling unit. People will believe that one. So if you now post that one online and a netizen or someone who is, Nigerians are very good. It's just because the government have not been able to harness the potential of our cyber awareness. Those boys are intelligent. Now I break into it and taking exactly the same piece of paper, I duplicate it and replace it using the same protocol, using the same file name. In case you say the file name is X times Y JPEG, and I replace it there and put it there. So who will I believe? If people could sit in St. Petersburg, if they could sing in Leningrad, if they could sit in Kiev and fight to change the election results in favor of Donald Trump.
Which is easier, to campaign and win at the polling unit or to wait to manipulate the election?
Anybody that waits to manipulate the election, may all his family be kept inside one plane and they crash.
Thank you so very much.
He wants to destroy the collective commonwealth of the people. May they be the collateral damage in the destruction of themselves. Because the Bible says that, and the sins of the fathers shall be passed down to generations for 7 generations. I don't know what that means. That's 210 years.
We have a lot to discuss, but there's no time. Thank you so very much, Dr. Don Pedro Obaseki. And those of you watching us online, we want to appreciate everybody for your contribution. Doctor, we will be having you more of this.
Like you said, it's beautiful.
Thank you so very much, sir. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
And God bless you for giving even those of us who may not share the same political ideology.
No, you are my man, doctor. All right, thank you. Bye for now.